You're listening to a brand new episode of the Feuz podcast. On today's episode, Teta, the head coach of the Schalmont baseball team in Schenectady, Rotterdam, New York. Coach Teta, thank you for joining me. I got my Schalmont gear on today, throwing it back to my high school days. How are you holding up during this time? I know as we were talking before this, it's tough because your whole life is around the game of baseball, and right now there is no baseball. So how are you and the family holding up?
We're holding up all right. Everyone's healthy, which is great. All the way around, all of our family members are healthy and good, so that's first and foremost. But it's been a tough March and April and now May without no baseball, whether it be coaching baseball on the field or just watching a ball game on TV or going to a ball game. It's tough seeing the sport that I love not around, which is just eerie. You never think that would happen, but it does, or it did. Yeah, we're all doing good. We're all we're all trying to stay positive and just different things each day. And it's a lot of family time the last 2.5 months or whatever it is, which is nice. So you don't get especially during this time of season, for me, from March to July or August, I don't see him very often because I'm, practicing games. I'm just all over the place. So as much as it not what we want to deal with, it's nice to be home with the family and spend some quality time with them. So, but we're all doing well.
Mm-hmm. And, I was a team manager for anyone that's watching this that did not know this, but I was a team manager of the Schalmont baseball team all 4 years of high school. And I was able to, my senior year, to see the amount of young talent on the Schalmont baseball team. And I know a couple of friends of mine that were seniors this year that their season got cut short. And it's not like they can get that year back or this year back. What have you kind of had the conversations with them about, the seniors on the team, where they kind of missed out on their senior year playing baseball at Schalmont High School?
It's been tough, Alex, because honestly, from the first day of tryouts, you kind of heard the rumblings that there might be some issues with the season, with all this COVID-19 going around. It was really important for me and the coaching staff at the start of the season to keep them focused and keep their mind towards what our goal was at the end of the year, whether I knew ahead of time that the season would be canceled or not, which I didn't. But it was really important to keep them positive, to keep them working hard until the hammer dropped and we were told that we couldn't practice or play. I know the seniors, they worked from, at least with me, they worked from September when we got into school until the first day of college or the first day of tryouts. I mean, they were on their own doing stuff as a team. They were, we did all of our open gyms with all of our baseball athletes over at school. And they just worked their butts off outside, inside, all year long to get to where we wanted to be in March. And, it was disappointing. I can remember the day that it kind of came in two waves because we were out practicing in March and we're out at the field, and one of our new assistant coaches came out and kind of gave me the heads up that he heard something was going to go down and they were going to cancel our yearly Disney trip, which we were all looking forward to. We were only really a month away, 3.5 weeks away from going down there for our spring training trip to get ourselves ready for the season. And, that kind of hit us. And then, when he came out and told me that, at the end of practice, I brought the guys together and say, listen, this is what's going on. And I always kept an open communication with them. I didn't want them to think that I was hiding anything from them. I didn't want them to think that I knew more than them. I always wanted to make sure that we all knew what was going on together, because that's what we were. We're a family. We're a team. So we kind of just came in the huddle at the end of that meeting and said, listen, this is what it is. They dropped the hammer on our Disney trip. We're not going to be able to go, unfortunately. And there was a lot of bummed faces. I mean, mine included, because it's, as you know, Alex, being a team manager, and you went with us, we have, played great baseball down there. The team comes together down there. We had fun just off the field. We had fun as a team and as individuals together. It was tough. you know. And then from that point, after I didn't see them from that point, that was the last day. We knew that I knew that the trip was canceled, and then we knew as a team, we knew that we weren't coming back to school that following Monday. But we went ahead on a Saturday and had a 3-hour practice on a Saturday, knowing that we weren't going to see each other for the foreseeable future, and just did what we normally do. Mm-hmm. And then, we got let out of school, and we did what we had to do. Everyone kind of went their separate ways for a week or so. We kind of just, soaked it in on what was really happening, and then we did one of these. I created a Zoom account, and we went on every week, twice a week, and we just chatted, or we went over things, anticipating that the season would finally get going. So, we did bunk coverage and stuff. We talked about stuff like that, plays and stuff like that we would need to practice. So, we did a lot of virtual practices to get us ready when that day came. And then our other meeting during the week was really just, hey, let's all get on the screen and let's just talk and make fun of each other and, just have some fun, because we're not around each other. No one's around each other. So I did that to make them feel like we were still part of a team. We were still grouped together, and then, finally, when it finally came, we listening to the section and the state, I kind of knew there was plans for a shortened season if it did happen. And then, when the date finally came where, the governor dropped it and said that there was, we weren't going back to school. And we kind of knew at that point that that was the end of our season and, the end of some of these seniors' playing careers at Schalmont. It was a little sad. It was, I felt bad for them. Like I said, they worked hard, but I think they're doing great. I think everything that they've been doing leading up to our Schalmont season is only going to help them, for their summer ball season, God willing. And if not, at least they have the drive and the motivation to keep working hard by themselves to, if they are going to college, to play in college, that they're ready at the best they can be when when that time comes. So
what was kind of one piece of advice that maybe you gave your seniors before all of this hit? And again, the seniors typically, in most cases, are the captains. And they were kind of blindsided by this. I think everyone was when it first happened. There's no way this is real, right? It's almost like you're living in a nightmare where baseball can't happen.
Right.
What were the conversations like when it was happening and it was reality, to where your seniors, the captains of the team, are losing out on their last season of playing at Schalmont High School on the baseball team, but also to be there for the other players on the team that in that captain role, that they had to give that advice to them as well?
Well, I know right from the get-go, like I said, back in September, all of our seniors took anybody, whether they tried out for the team and made it or not in the spring. They took kids under their wing and worked with them one-on-one. We had a student transferred in that worked with one of our seniors for the most part, because they played the same positions. And this new kid was a little pushy and a little think he knew a little bit more than everyone else. And our other Schalmont player, our senior Schalmont player, kind of took them and kind of explained to him how we do things. And, over a course of weeks and months, this student athlete, his attitude changed. You could see him now becoming part of a team and be part of a community, which I'm assuming was hard for him at first because he's coming from outside coming in. So it was hard for him. But just from the get-go, all of our seniors, they did a great job just talking to the younger guys. They're all friends. So it was nice to see the seniors step up from September. I didn't have to tell them. They knew, they saw what the roster was going to be, and they knew that they needed to get everyone else on the same page with them in order to be what we wanted to be. And even throughout this whole thing, during open gyms and tryouts, they were always taking someone aside to talk to them. And then once we got word that, Disney trip was canceled, again, they were bummed, but they supported the other kids that were going on the trip for the first time. Hey guys, you guys are going again next year. Don't worry about it. Or, once we got our season canceled, I know there was talking amongst them all. And like I said, just the Zooms, I think, helped, where they were real leaders and real kids, student athletes that really cared about other people and their teammates, where they were constantly in communication. If they couldn't get a hold of me, other players would go to them and say, hey, what drill can I do? And they would actually become the coach. So it was nice for them, for our seniors to kind of step up to the plate and really help the younger kids. And we had some younger kids on our roster this year. And even on the JV level, we had some kids that may not be as talented as some other kids, but they really did a great job of, open arms, welcome them in, and then just helping them with whatever they need, or just seeing when they're uncomfortable, what they can do. And again, I think it was all just me staying positive with them staying positive with other players. So it kind of trickled down effect where we all knew we were bummed. We were all looking forward to a great season, but we're all in this together. So we have to just do what we have to do. And, I was really proud of them, how they responded to the younger kids and how they responded to this in general, not having a senior season. Again, they're not going to play ball at Schalmont ever again. But all I saw was positivity and smiles and just memories. Like over the past few weeks, I just since this started, I always text out the boys, everybody, not just seniors. How you guys doing? Just checking up on them. You guys need anything? Everyone healthy? And just the response back from the seniors that I get. Thank you, coach, for everything that you've done. All that good stuff. It shows the type of character that those kids have. So.
You mentioned memories, and this is where a great time to kind of reminisce on the past. Have you thought about the last 4 years that I graduated 2 years ago, and I became the team manager the same year you were now the new head coach for the baseball team. The 4 years I was there one favorite memory that you have coaching for Schalmont?
There's a bunch of them because we don't have a lot of games that we play that are kind of like, whatever. We have a winning tradition, so we do win a lot of games. Now I'm not tooting our own horn, but it's just the truth. So there's a lot of games in there that are really good games that really mesh in. I can tell you one game that I can remember every single day of my life, and it's not the most memorable game. Not the best outcome of the game, but our semifinal game for the state champion, or for the semifinal state champion in the state championship, was a memorable game. We lost on a crazy play at the end, but I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. Like leading up to that, I don't know if there's one particular game. It might be just that season that was awesome. We played so well. We had such fun and the excitement, and nobody expected us to be within the final four, standing at the end. Hell no, nobody expected that. But we worked hard and we did it. But I would say it only maybe because it may be fresh in my memory, fresh in my bank from last year. Because I'm sure there's a few. I'm sure that Chris Hamilton provided us with a few memorable moments and those teams. But last year, we were playing Ichabod Crane at our place, and we're down in the game. And one of our student athletes, a senior at the time, sat the entire game, came in for a pinch hit a home run to tie the game up, and then later that inning, we pushed across a run to win the game. So just that, being down to 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and having no shot of just everything's been deflated, to have that ball go over that fence and the excitement that came out of that dugout, and just that we won that game because of that home run, obviously, because we tied it. And then, but just the momentum that changed from that game. And again, like I said, that was a last year moment because it's fresh in my memory, but there are just so many, even bad, even good memories that were not good games,
Mm-hmm.
Something that just, a terrible game that we had, and we're on the bus ride home and somebody makes it better. And it's just you remember when he did that after we lost to that team? Yeah, I do remember that. And that's the stuff that makes it fun. That's what makes me want to be with the guys and just support each other and just go to war with each other, and good times and bad,
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, I want to say thank you for taking the time this morning to speak with me. It was fun to catch up and especially talk some Schalmont baseball. It's always nice to just, I look back, especially now, so many great memories, all 4 years. And, I do feel bad for the seniors to not experience a true senior year. But again, I know a lot of them had great memories. and they will never forget, the fun times that they had on that team and at Schalmont. So once again, thank you for taking the time to talk with me this morning. I wish nothing but you and your family to stay safe during this time, especially.
Same to you, Alex. And I do want to put out this one thing out there that if this, and I don't usually do this very often, but if this season went on, you would have saw another state title in Schalmont's banners, because I do really believe that with our core of seniors that we had and some of our younger players, our sophomores and juniors, and even a 8th grader that was due to probably be a starter on our team, we were locked, loaded, and stocked with what we needed. 9 pitchers that can pitch, not just throw, a good defense. And, we were behind the ball a little bit to start the season because one of our captains, Jackson Defiant, was not with us up until January. We didn't think we would get him back. And once we got him back at school, everything just took off. And like I said, the excitement and the work ethic just picked up that much more. The grind picked up. And it is unfortunate because I do truly believe in my heart, and they do too, because we talked about this since last year. I truly believe in my heart that we would have been standing there holding up another state title. But it is what it is. Everyone's healthy. That's all that counts. Again, Alex, I appreciate you having me on, and we will definitely talk soon. Good luck to you in the future as well.
Yes. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.